You know the phrase, better late than never. So the St. Louis Blues lost to the San Jose Sharks in the playoffs, and it is just definitely a disappointment because we really thought it was going to be the year this year. It really seemed it was going to be like that, but in the end, it just proved not to be like that. Because we went into this the playoffs that no one thought we were going to make. No one. Because we first fought the Blackhawks, the Chicago Blackhawks, and everyone thought we were going to get beaten by them. Pretty much everyone. No one was going to go like, oh, the Blues might surprise them, but nope, no one predicted that. And then we went up and beat them in 7 games. So that was just an exciting series to watch. It was fun, and it was good payback for after what they did to the Cardinals back in October. So that was definitely fun. Then we went and faced the Dallas Stars, and everyone said pretty much we won't beat them. Though there were more people on our side then than there were for the Blackhawks, but not everyone was saying we were going to win. But once again, we went in and proved them wrong and won the whole thing. So then we went into the third round and won again, or not won, but went and faced against the Sharks. And we knew it was going to be a challenge. We knew that we weren't going to get really that far, but we still hoped that maybe there would be that chance. But in the end, the Sharks proved they were the better team, and I had to give it to San Jose that they deserve to be in the Stanley Cup more because they did beat us. They are the better team. They deserve to be there. And it's just, this is the closest the Blues have gotten in years. I mean, I think the closest they have ever gotten, or the last time they did, was back in 2000 and 2001 season when I think they were also in the third round. I believe they lost to the Colorado Avalanche, I think it was that. And it was pretty much the same as this one. It looks like we might have that chance, but they proved to be the better team in the end. So it's disappointing because this was almost the first time in 46 years that the Blues made the Stanley Cup. They haven't made it since 1970. I mean, my dad was about 13 then, and now he's going to be turning 60 next year. It's amazing to think that. And my mom was 10 then. So, and they were incorporated in 1967, so next year they'll be turning 50 years old, and they still haven't won a Stanley Cup. I think they're the only team from 67 or before that hasn't won a Stanley Cup. So that just adds on to it. It's tough being a fan of a team like this because every year you're just going to be like, this is the year. But then it turns out not to be the year. The Blues are the kind of team that you could add just the best players on there. You could pretty much win every game in the regular season. You can be extremely good during the regular season, but once the playoffs start, you're just a completely different team. And that's what it's been like for the Blues pretty much every single year. They usually get wiped out in the first round. That's what it's like been for most of their history. And this year they were just this close to making it, and they still didn't. So maybe they'll make it next year, but you never know. And our coach I think, is going to be with us for one more year before he retires, so that would be nice if he could do that. Kind of like LaRussa did with the Cardinals back in 2011. He during the 2011 season, it was his last year, then he retired, so maybe it would be like that. And I kind of went and thought about it, and the Blues aren't really the only team that suffered for this. I mean, Cleveland hasn't won a championship in, I think, over 50 years. Right now, Cleveland Cavaliers are in the playoffs facing the Golden State Warriors, the same team they fought last year, and I think last night the Golden State Warriors won, so I'm kind of pulling for Cleveland to win it. I think they kind of deserve it. They haven't won in over 50 years. The Browns haven't won. Their baseball team hasn't won since, I think, the 40s. They just haven't won anything in such a long time, and they need it. I mean, if I were a Cleveland fan, I would have never been able to witness a championship. My dad would have been very little when that happened, and in fact, he probably wouldn't even remember because he didn't start watching sports till he was about 10. So, and then there's also San Diego, who I think have never won a championship before. Never. So, I know San Diego, the Padres, have been in the World Series, but I don't think they've ever won it. Or any of their other teams have ever won anything. And then I know the Mariners, the Seattle Mariners, have never been to the World Series, and they're almost about, I think, 50 years old, close to it. I forgot when they were incorporated, but it was sometime in the 70s, and they've never been to the World Series, so that has to suck too. Then, of course, you have teams like the Red Sox and the White Sox who took years and years and years to try to get it until they finally got it. Back-to-back, surprisingly. And then they haven't won it, or been to the World Series in 70 years, so it has to be really bad for them, but I might be a hypocrite when it comes to this, but it makes me happy not to see the World Series. I mean, I'm from St. Louis, so I do have a bit of a bias towards them, but looks like this year, maybe their year, they have some tough competition with them, with the Nationals and other teams like that, but just the thought of them winning and then just spreading their ego everywhere, it's just gonna be, that would be tough to go through, and I just don't want to go through that. So, it's hard being maybe they will win, but who knows? It's just hard being a sports fan of a team sometimes when they just never seem they're ever going to win it. It's just hard. So, that's really all I have to say about this. So, thanks for watching and have a great day.